The Tie and Hoodie Show is sponsored by ICCLending.com. For real estate service, please go to ICCLending.com.
3, 2, 1.
Every human came to earth with a gift, and they must discover that gift and refine that gift for them to be fulfilled.
The prerequisite for spending time with any person is that they nourish and inspire you. They feed your flame.
Yo, hey man, how you work this radio?
You're not listening to the Tie and Hoodie Show.
Keep it locked.
Owning a home and paying it off is one of the data points of an everyday millionaire.
Home sales across the U.S. are on the rise as buyers take advantage of record low mortgage rates.
Good morning. Now let's get back to the Tie and Hoodie Show.
Good morning. It's the Tie and Hoodie Show right here on 93.5 K8 each and every Sunday morning. It's our pleasure to hang out with you from 6:30 to 7 a.m. I'm your host, Trevon Smith, also known as Trey, hanging out with my man, Andrew Jessicoba. How you doing today, Andrew?
I'm doing good, Trevon. How are you today?
I'm good. I can't complain. It's Sunday. It's beautiful. I mean, hey, this is what we do. This is what we do. We're grateful for another week. You know, we've been going on for a while now. Yes, sir.
I know with all these inoculations and the vaccines here and there, back and forth, it's only a matter of time. We get back to the studio together in the same room. Well, real soon, right?
Real soon, sooner than later. I believe the dates are coming up soon for, everything to open back up. And some people will be telling stories about how they got their shot and all that. So it's on them. But
yeah,
hey, today's guest, I'm excited about, a young lady that, I've come across. Andrew's introduced me to that's working, I believe, in Southern California, doing her thing. I can't wait to hear her testimony, her experiences as a young lady in a real estate market. That's something that we try to bring here on this show, talking a little bit about financial freedom and financial literacy, and little generational wealth, what we're trying to employ here to our community. Without no further ado, it's Miss Amber Walker. How you doing this morning?
I'm blessed. Thank you so much for having me on today. How are you guys?
We're hanging in there.
We're hanging in there. We're doing really good. We've been working together for a little bit here and there, and our show is all about personal development. We want to hear what your stories are, where you're coming from, what you're doing, where you're going, because we know that, every weekend we're able to change at least one life. We have thousands of people listening, but, go ahead and just tell us who you are, where you're from, what you do.
Okay, well, my name is Amber Walker. I am originally from Inglewood, born in Inglewood, Centinela Hospital, but I grew up in the San Fernando Valley. Went to school out there, graduated, then I went to Clark, Atlanta for a little bit, then came back here and finished up at Dominguez Hills. Now I live in South Bay, and I'm a real estate agent. I've been a realtor for about the past 4 years, and I love it. I'm so blessed that I was connected. God connected me to my calling. I always was, really helpful with people, growing up, and, just being able to help people find, the house that they love, and also help them, be able to build wealth and create that equity is really rewarding. It's kind of like just being able to take people to the next level and just seeing how all these people grow and flourish, after I help them with their real estate needs is really rewarding to me. It really is.
And I think it's something important for people to listen to, especially in our community. I'm big on saying, kids, you don't have to be in sports. Kids, you don't have to be in entertainment. Kids, you don't, So for the real estate market, it's something that produces what we call generational wealth. I think it's important for our kids to know that, so we can help future generations to come. Is real estate something that knew you wanted to get into for a long time, or when did it come about? Like, hey, I'm gonna jump into my calling and touch on this real estate market.
Well, No, real estate wasn't something that I wanted to go into because when you're a kid, you always say, "Oh, I want to be a singer. I want to go to
Yeah.
the WNBA. I played basketball in high school. I played sports. You want to do all the things that are on TV that they make look cool on TV. When in actuality, there's a lot of other things that you could do that are lucrative, and you can also be helping the community as well. So no, I didn't originally want to be a real estate agent, but I always had a fascination for houses. My dad, he was one of the only Black-owned furniture moving companies in Los Angeles.
Oh, that's important. That's
Yeah.
important. Come on.
Yeah. So he had celebrities, that he would work for, and also, jobs just would work all over the US. I would go on jobs sometimes if he had a delivery in Pennsylvania. So I would ride with him, and we would travel through all the states, driving to deliver, to Pennsylvania, also sightseeing, opening my eyes to, everything other than California. So I thought that was important. And we would also just go because he had, regular clients, but he also had very, very high-end celebrity clients as well. We've been to a numerous amount of celebrity homes, and we would go and I would just see, huge, huge houses on lakes with like 4 kitchens and like 8 garages and, just like these just beautiful, huge estates I was exposed to when I was younger. So I feel like that fascination always instilled in me. And, later on, after I graduated college and I was kind of like finding my calling, I used to work for, various banks, financial institutions. And, you would talk to the business owners that would come into the bank. And I always thought that was really important to work in a bank, so you can see what, different people, different clients do to how to, get to where they're going to be. They mentor you, they give you, their type of advice. So I came across a broker one time. He was a Black broker, has his own brokerage to this day. And I was getting tired of my job. So I was just asking him like, "Oh, you hiring, after that." So he told me that he gave me his business card. And I thought I was just going to do like an administrative assistant or something. And I was calling him and I couldn't get in contact with him. So I was just like, no, I'm going to get in contact with him. So I just kept calling him. And he saw that I was like being very persistent. So he looked at and he was like, "Okay, you're persistent, Amber. You need to take these real estate classes." So since then, I just was like, okay, I took the classes, found some classes online, and passed my tests and just hit the ground running. Like I want to say the first week that I got my real estate license, I got my license on a Tuesday. I got recruited on a Thursday. And then 2 days later, I was already doing an open house. I didn't know what an open house was or like how to do it, but I was just like, I'm just going to go and wing it. And that's kind of how I just fell into that. And I do find myself like, I've always kind of been fearless. I'm the type of person to jump in the water and learn how to swim when I'm 8 feet deep.
Yeah.
That's just my personality, and it's been successful. I have a lot of support, behind me. I work with amazing agents and amazing vendors that I'm, introduced to, that I meet networking, and I'm just blessed.
Okay.
Well, I mean, that's amazing to say. I mean, there's a couple of things that you said in your little intro that I want to unpack for a little bit, because people sit down and wait for things to come to them.
Right.
You instead said you kept calling and calling and calling and calling. I mean, you probably said that like 5 or 6 times, I mean, people need to understand that persistence and going, jump in. I mean, not jump into a lake and try to swim out. I mean, you're going to drown for goodness sake. But, but meaning jump into it. You don't have to know everything in a career for you to kind of like be able to say, okay, I know what I'm doing. You have to take the first step and the second step and the third step. And you have to call so many times before somebody says, you know what, I think this person is serious. What would be your advice for people who are out there thinking, I want to get into this career, or I wish I was a singer or a basketball player, or I wish I was a financial advisor or a tax preparer, or even opening up a little, bakery? what would be your advice for them, people who are listening right now, compared to what you did?
Well, I mean, of course, it's just nothing to it but to do it. You know, there's people that say, "Oh, I wish I did that. I wish I would have did this. I wish I would have did that," and that's all just, you know, a lack of confidence of just not having the mentality or the confidence just to move forward. And number one, you know, you have to believe in yourself in order for other people to believe in you. And it just starts of even just writing down your goals. Say, hey, I want to do this, I want to do and go into that, you know, write them down, and then, you know, start to attack each goal little by little. And then, you know, once you keep attacking those little goals, you'll look back and you'll say, wow, look how far I've came.
Mm-hmm.
Well, people get so caught up in, I guess, what the social media and looking at what everybody else has. They want to, you know, they want to publicize the accomplishments, but they don't, you know, publicize all the hard work that it takes to get to, you know, where these people are. So that's just number one, is just go after it, because you only got one life to live. You know, it's either you do it or you work for someone else that's going to do it.
Yeah, that's definitely very important for you to attack your goals, and that's something I'm big on as far as writing things down. I think a lot of people try to just try to, as they say, just try to figure things out, and it's okay to figure things out, but write them down and see what goals you're going to attack. As far as yourself in the real estate market, getting as a realtor, could you talk to us a little bit about the community, about some things that you love about it, and some things that are maybe a challenge, but you're not scared to take them on. You know, especially as a woman. I know women has a different role in society as a man, but it's coming to more fruition to, you know, as it should be. So just things that you deal with in the real estate market.
Okay. Well, definitely, you know, I definitely do have my challenges, because I've always been the type to, like, my parents encouraged me growing up. They would put me in sports. I would get involved in clubs, extracurricular activities. My mom, she kept me really busy. You know, my mom was, you know, not to say my mom was a single mom, because yes, I did grow up with my mom. My parents divorced, but I still had my dad there. I'd go to his house every other week. So he was still, you know, still in my life, but I did grow up with my mom. And I remember she would tell me, she would say, you know, you're not just going to be hanging out after school. If you want to do something out after school, you're going to get involved in a club, or you're going to join a sport, you're going to do something, but you're not just going to just be hanging out around, you know, things like that. And that, you know, stuck with me. So to get back to where I'm going with this is, I remember a couple years ago, I did, you know, confide in my mom, saying, well, you know, why are these people, you know, trying to like undercut me, or why are they, you know, not taking what I say serious? And my mom, you know, she brings to my attention, she goes, you know, first you have to realize that you're a woman. You need to realize that you're a Black woman. You need to realize that you're a young Black woman. So you have a lot of odds up against you, you know, just from the nation's history and everything like that. She was like, but don't let the ignorance of other people get to you or stop your bag or stop your success. You know, if they don't want to work with you and they don't see you for who you are, then that's their loss. Because one person selling a house, I mean, there's millions of people, there's billions of houses, you know, in the world.
Yeah.
They're not the only people that I'm going to come in, you know, interact with.
Yeah.
And also too, I look at, is it like, okay, it's a blessing in disguise, because if they're going to fight me for everything that I advise and everything that I've, you know, constantly proven my hard work, and they still fight me for it, that's on them. And I'm not going to get stressed out, because I know my worth, and I'm just going to go find other business.
I love your answer, Miss Amber. I really love your answer. Because I think the best part of your answer was it was just genuine. And you know, that's how you want to know how people feel, because we're telling people, hey, these are the options that you have besides an entertainer and an athlete. But look, everything is not going to be peaches and cream, right? But you have to learn to deal with them, attack the goals. Now, I do want to hear what's some of the good things that you like about being a realtor.
What I do like about, I definitely love my schedule, just being self-employed, I can set my hours of what I want.
Okay.
I also love being able to give back, and it doesn't always have to be financially, giving back, but just giving back with knowledge.
Yeah.
Putting on seminars. I put on a Protect Your Assets seminar for a few of the homeowners in my church.
Okay.
And I'm just, teaching them the process of, when your house ultimately outlives you, make sure you got your paperwork together, make sure you have your property in a trust so you create that generational wealth, keep that house in the family, versus having to go through probate and then having immediately, 50, 60, whatever, a crazy amount of lawyer and court fees that automatically attached because, the house isn't in a trust.
Yeah.
Having your house in a trust is the only way to avoid probate. And that is something that a lot of people in minority communities weren't really taught. Also, I, like to make sure that I'm giving that information back to my community saying, hey, you worked hard for your asset. You worked hard to get to where you are today. Make sure that it's protected. Keep it in the family, and build your generational wealth. They got enough. They don't need all that. We got to protect what's ours.
Yeah, definitely.
So you coming in as a real estate agent, well, what do you like helping people most? Do you like helping them with selling their house the most, or you like helping people who want to buy houses find homes? Which one, which one are you? Because there are real estate agents out there who are, we only sell houses. Some say we only help people buy houses. Which one, appeals to you most, or which one are you most expert at?
Well, I am an expert at both buying and selling. People would say that, of course, right now, selling is being on the seller side, representing the seller would be, most beneficial because of how crazy the market is. But honestly, I do enjoy being a buyer's agent just because it's something different, like every day. Just being able to go over different scenarios. I like to have something different every day. I don't like doing the same stuff. I always get bored doing the same thing. So that's why I love being in real estate. Every day is a different day. And yeah, I would say I do enjoy being a buyer's agent more. Just seeing my clients from where they were before they purchased to how they are now. How scared they were, like, oh my gosh, this is taking all my money. Amber, you're taking all my money. And I'm like, no, I'm not taking all your money. You're investing in yourself. And then just years later, you just show how much money, how they doubled their money, how they quadrupled their money, in a few years. And then, giving that information back to them is just kind of like, it's mind boggling to them. Like, oh my gosh, is that me? And I'm like, yeah, that's you. You did that from taking the step of faith, the leap of faith and investing in yourself. I have a client who, I helped her purchase a house a couple years ago in downtown Long Beach. It was an amazing, amazing location. And it took all of her savings. And she's like, oh my God, you're taking all my money. Just a couple years from now, she already quadrupled her money and she's renting it out. Young girl, I want to say she's like 25. She took that leap of faith and now she has tenants living in her property, paying the mortgage, and she's getting a little bit back after. So just seeing and bringing people into that life is really rewarding for me.
Now, recently, I've been working with Andrew for a plethora of years, and I've been picking his brain and around real estate and the lending part of things. And as of lately, I've taken a little bit serious where I have my test scheduled and whatnot. But the hardest part is like when you talk to people, because I've had the pleasure of buying a house and selling the house, and in the process of buying another one. But the hardest part is talking to peers of my age and people that look like me and telling them like, hey man, like maybe like they was like, well, you went on vacation. Well, I went on vacation because I'm actually in escrow. But like, in my opinion, I'm like, why is it so hard talking to our community about, you know, generational wealth, as far as like, hey, let's stop, you know, busting bottles at the club. Let's stop, you know, going to Vegas and buying Gucci bags and let's turn this into something. Do you come across the same thing talking to people over and over? And it's like, I'm trying to, you know, beat a dead horse, but I feel like it's our obligation as people that, you know, in this career path to kind of like keep informing, you know, our community. But do you go through the same thing a little bit or a lot of it, or?
Well, what I would say is yes and no.
Yeah.
You know, definitely we want people to invest in our own land, but I also too, you know, I would say use social media as an outlet.
Okay.
Because a lot of people, they do see, you know, all these celebrities and, you know, people wearing all these Gucci and things like that. So yeah, you know, that image puts in their mind, okay, well, I want this, I gotta have this, I gotta have this. But what I try to do, promote for my page, you'll see on my page, I try to get, I post young people's stories of purchasing a home. I purchase, you know, in my circle, my friends purchasing homes, things like that. And I try to get that out and that image out. So it spreads and people say, hey, you know, purchasing a house and owning property, you know, is cool. So that's a way that I try to amplify what my message is, you know, because a lot of people, they don't know, you know, all the under layers, but if they see the surface, then we contact, you know, each other and then, you know, explain all of the benefits from that.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I mean, so people are going to start looking. I mean, I talked to quite a few, I'll say a lot of people, and it's like to piggyback on what Trevon's saying, how can we continue to educate people more that homeownership should be their number one priority? You know, because you're going to live in a place anyways, you might as well own it rather than paying rent for it. How do you think that what's your message to people saying what would get them to get off that stool and say, don't be scared, we're going to walk you through it? What would be your message to them about owning real estate?
Well, I would definitely say, you know, get a real estate agent and a lender that you can trust. Also too, I just feel like it needs to be just amplified in everything that's going on around us. Like it needs to be implemented in the music. It needs to be put in the books, the history books that we're taught, because, you know, a lot of that is not taught in high school, college. They don't talk about credit or, you know, really too much home ownership or just skills to help build yourself when you're out in life. That's another thing that I would recommend. And just putting on seminars. I mean, I try to put on seminars and, you know, invite people, and then people inviting people. So we just got to spread the word. That makes sense.
I mean, you mentioned something real quick, Trevon. Excuse me for a second. You mentioned something. It needs to be implemented or interpreted in the music. I mean, music is a big part of the African American and Hispanic culture, huge part. But it's weird from what you just said. I hear a lot about Benjamins and chains and cars, but I don't hear a lot about owning houses in music, in rap music. I mean, that's something that's a big way, I think. I mean, what do you think, Trevon?
No, I think you're right. I think you guys both hit it, the hammer on the nail. In the rap community, in the urban community, we're about the quick look, like the Gucci and a lot of these rappers, I'm gonna be honest, I don't want to say that because I know a little history. Some people have houses. Like the Game has a beautiful house in Calabasas, and you know, and the Tyrese and them, they have real estate, and Snoop Dogg has real estate. But it's more of the older rappers. The newer rappers are more of just like the fancy car. They'll go spend $100,000 on a car when that $100,000 can change their whole life.
Right.
Because they could buy this piece of real estate and their mama piece of real estate. And one of my favorite, just because we're talking about rap, one of my favorite rap artists and businessmen is Mac 10. And he's from Inglewood, as you are. And Mac 10 has a cleaners, he has apartments, he has all kind of stuff. And that was the first person I ever heard say, in the industry, like, I got a cleaners, I got some apartments. So I think it's like you said, it's up to people to come about and let the community know, like, hey, get some money, buy a house, get some money, buy investment property. And maybe that's something. We have a couple minutes left. Miss Amber, maybe that's something you could just touch on a little bit about the programs that you're familiar with for first-time home buyers, and give out your information. If anybody wants to contact you in the Los Angeles area or any area, just tell, how it is, a little couple programs that people might not be aware of that you can help people out with. Okay.
Well, overall, in regards to the mortgage programs, that's definitely Andrew's forte. I know he has plenty of lending programs that different people per their income and their credit as well. So that's something that he would touch on. But I have worked with people who do the first time home buyers loan, where they put down as little as 3.5% of the purchase price. So conventional loans, also they have loans for self-employed people as well. People feel like, oh, I'm self-employed, I can't get a loan because I'm not W-2. They do have special programs for them as well. So that's something that, as far as talk to Andrew. And then I'm sorry, you said there was a second part of your question too.
No, just give out your information as far as, and I didn't know if there was anything that just to talk to some people listening. Our demographics on K-Day, most of them are first-time home buyers, refinancing, stuff like that. So I don't know if you specialize in any of that and you want to give out your information. I just want to make sure we did you justice, for coming on the show today, and blessing us, with your hat and your earrings, girl.
Thank you. Yeah, well, my name is, of course, Amber Walker. I'm with Nationwide Real Estate Executives, the fastest growing brokerage in Southern California, minority brokerage in Southern California. My best contact number is 310-422-7020. And also my email address is lasunShineRealty@gmail.com. My Instagram also is LA Sunshine Realty. So when you go on there, you can see a lot of my success stories and feedback from my clients and how the process was. I just like to, whenever I sell a home to clients, I like to say, can you tell people, what the process was like, and can you give some advice to people who want to purchase homes? Because a lot of people, they want to do it, but they're just so scared. And just by me constantly publicizing, hey, this is, what my client went through to get it, and this is where they are now, I definitely feel like it's like a domino effect, because they'll say, hey, if they can do it, I could do it too. Or they bought, or that's what just seeing other people do it is like a domino effect, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, give out your phone number again, if you don't mind. If you can say it slowly twice, so people can hear out your number.
It's 310-422-7020. And I'm Amber Walker with Nationwide Real Estate Executives. I specialize in Los Angeles County.
Okay.
I specialize, and I do the majority of my business.
Okay.
So there are people out there saying, house prices are going up like crazy. They're thinking, oh, well, the market, it's going to bust again. I'm going to sit on the sideline and wait for the market to crash before I buy a house. What will be your opinion to that?
What my opinion is, and also a lot of other real estate professionals, is we don't predict that the market will crash. We predict that it will slow down, maybe take a little dip, because we know that the mortgage interest rates are the lowest they've been in the history, so people qualify for more due to, COVID and other factors. but we know that they can't stay that low forever. So we do predict that when the interest rates start to rise, we do see that people who were able to afford, a $600,000 house at a 2.5 rate, let's say, it goes up to 3.5 or maybe in the 4s by next year or the year after. We see that, okay, they're qualifying for 600,000. Now they may qualify for, I don't know, what, 550 or 535, something like that.
So this is the right time to buy? Is that what you're saying? This is the right time to buy? If you're thinking about it, do it now?
Buy when you qualify, if that makes sense, when you qualify. And I know that's kind of weird, but when you think about it, just different people have different financial situations. So someone may be able to purchase a house this year and, they've been working on their job steady, the Lord's blessed them. They haven't been affected by COVID and that's their time. They're able to buy. Yes. Buy when you can. But let's say that person loses a job in a couple of years and the interest rates are up, 2%. And then you get a really good job offer and, you're able to, it's steady and you're able to qualify on your new job offer and the interest rates are high. Buy then. It's all basically on when you can. Buy when you qualify. Different markets affect different people, but it's ultimately when your time is ready, take it.
Ms. Amber, we definitely appreciate you for checking in with us right here on the Tie and Hoodie show every Sunday morning, 6:30 to 7 a.m., 93.5 KDA. But it's definitely a pleasure. Good luck with everything. I know you'll do great work with Andrew. Once again, give out your number real quick before we get out of here.
It's 310-422-7020, and my Instagram is LA Sunshine Realty.
So if you're looking to buy a house and you're in the LA area, hit this lady up. She could definitely help you. Hey, it's been a pleasure. Appreciate picking your brain and dealing with us for this Sunday morning. So thank you again.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Okay, talk to you soon.
All right.
Hey, do you have valuable information that can help your community?
Okay.
And you'd like to be a guest? Hit us on our social media.
Do it now. The Tie and Hoodie show is sponsored by ICCLending.com. For real estate service, please go to ICCLending.com.